Welcome back to another rebuild I have for you guys here today on Madden 19. Today it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens, but before I get into this one, I want to mention that I am nearing in on 3,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I'll thank you guys more about that, later. But for now, I would like you guys to comment some questions you would want me to answer, because I'm going to be doing a 3,000 subscriber question and answer video. I did, a Q&A for 2,000 and for 1,000 subscribers. So if you want a chance, to be featured in a video for a little bit, if you want to think of it that way, you can ask me some questions. You can either do it in the comments here or on Twitter. And as for the questions, they can be about football, be about other sports. I mean, I only really know a lot about football. I know a bit about baseball. I played baseball for a while, but I'm not too caught up with it. I don't know anything about basketball or soccer or anything like that. So you can, ask me sports-related questions, or you can ask me some other personal questions. I don't really care. I'll just choose which ones I want to answer, and then whichever ones I don't answer, in the video, I will just probably comment a response to them, unless they're like a really weird question, like, what's your address, I probably won't answer that one. But yeah, you can comment really whatever you want, and I'll choose which ones I want to answer. But anyway, let's get into this team here. Joe Flacco, out of Delaware, long out of Delaware, 10 years ago. Yeah, so insane arm, he can throw the ball forever. He's not great. I don't really think I have to talk too much about Joe Flacco. Lamar Jackson is going to be the starter. Great looking rookie, super fast, 91 speed, 94 throw power, not great deep accuracy, good short though, good throw on the run, good break sack. He should be the quarterback for the rest of this rebuild. Alex Collins, I feel like he's a bit underrated. I think he's a really good running back. I feel like the Seahawks shouldn't have let go of him. I don't know, maybe I didn't really watch him too much when he was on the Seahawks. But from what I can remember, I feel like he didn't play badly. I don't know why they just didn't keep him. Buck Allen is, the backup. He's not bad at all. He's a good backup running back. Good receiving back, 72 catching. But there could also be another reason why the Seahawks didn't keep Alex Collins. That might have been, was that around the time that Thomas Rawls was emerging as a really good running back? I don't really know, to be honest. But Alex Collins has had success with the Ravens. This wide receiver core doesn't look too bad on paper, but I know at the end of last year, or in the offseason, the beginning of it, it looked like they were going to have a terrible wide receiver core, but they were still they're still able to muster up a decent one. Michael Crabtree is a good number one wide receiver. John Brown has played well for the Ravens. He hasn't done too well for the Cardinals in the past couple of years. And then Willie Snead, in the past he played well with the Saints. He's probably the only one who I'm going to keep. Michael Crabtree played really well in my Steelers rebuild. I checked the Pro Bowl in that one, and he was in the Pro Bowl a couple years, so it's tempting to keep him, but he's 30 years old. He's an 86 overall with normal development. He's not going to progress at all. He has good stats and everything, but I still think it's just smarter to get rid of him. Ronnie Stanley is not a bad left tackle. Pretty young, out of Notre Dame, I think. Yeah, he's in his third year. Pretty good looking stats. He will most likely stay for the rest of the rebuild. Marshall Yanda, definitely the best offensive lineman on this team. He's insanely good, 92 overall. He is 33 years old. I think I might just keep him until he retires, though, to be honest. And then Orlando Brown is a rookie. So, he has room to grow. He's not, great looking. Pretty strong, I guess, with 90 strength. But, I can't really see him being a long-term option. I will keep him, though, for the first couple seasons, probably. Hayden Hurst was one of this team's first-round draft picks. He's not bad. He's a good tight end. The only issue is that, he's 25 years old. I'll keep him. I really don't see him going anywhere, though, but I will keep him. You have Nick Boyle and then Andrews. I think Andrews is a rookie, too. Yeah, Mark Andrews. He looks a lot better than Hayden Hurst. Okay, so he's a 76 overall, 21 years old. I'm starting him. I'm sorry, Hayden Hurst fans. But, yeah, Mark Andrews is the much smarter option in terms of a rebuild. In real life, maybe Hayden Hurst is better. I'm not even too sure, to be honest. But in terms of a rebuild, it is way smarter to start Andrews. On the defensive side, this defense is actually really good. Eric Weddle is only an 84. I feel like that's a bit disrespectful. I feel like he should be almost a 90, but maybe he didn't have a good season last year. Great beard, though. I know that much. Tony Jefferson is not a bad strong safety. I try to trade for him quite a bit. He's actually pretty hard to trade for. They have slow safeties, but that doesn't really matter too much in Madden. Terrell Suggs, of course, a great outside linebacker. He's been amazing for this team ever since he's been on it, but, oh, man, he's 35 years old. I feel like I have to trade him, but, I feel sort of bad trading him. It's Terrell Suggs. I don't know what I want to do with that one, because he's a rough player to to try to work around. Maybe I'll keep him for a season just to show some respect and then trade him afterwards. CJ Mosley is a great young middle linebacker, 26 years old. He's staying on the team indefinitely. Patrick Onweiser isn't terrible. He's a 74. I'd still like to trade for a different middle, though, I think. And then Matthew Judon, not a bad outside linebacker at all. 26 years old. I can't really see him progressing too well, to be completely honest. I do kind of want to trade for a different outside linebacker, so if I do, I'll probably start him over Matthew Judon. But they also have like Tyus Bowser and Tim Williams, who are some young pass rushers they could develop probably at some point. Their cornerback situation isn't horrible. I mean, Jimmy Smith is pretty good, but he's like 30. I don't know if I want to keep him then. He is a really good corner, but he's 30 years old. I don't really see him. He's not going to go up at all. He's always just going to be, his highest overall will probably be an 89. But Marlon Humphrey's sick. He's going to be a great player. Brandon Carr is going to get traded. Tavon Young will probably stay in the nickel. And then Willie Henry's not a bad defensive end. Brendan Williams is a great defensive end. And then Michael Pierce is a great defensive tackle. So this D-line's very, very good. I still just want to try to make this defense even better than it already is. I'm giving the Giants Joe Flacco and Hurst, I'm not sure what his first name is, but he's a right tackle, for their first-round draft pick and their fifth-rounder. Nick Boyle, Patrick Onweiser, and Javorius Allen for the Jets' first-round draft pick. I actually didn't expect that to go through, but I'm giving the Colts Michael Crabtree and Zadarius Smith for Quentin Nelson. This trade is going to be Eric Weddle and Anthony Levine for the Buccaneers' first-round draft pick. Brandon Carr, Lewis, and a first-round draft pick will get me Robbie Anderson. That may have seemed like a pretty big trade, but the only thing I really got rid of there was a first-round draft pick, and I have a bunch more, and I can always just trade for more, so it's really not that big of a deal, to be honest. It's so easy to get the Bengals' first-round draft pick. I'm giving them John Brown and Chris Wormley to get it done. This trade is pretty nuts as well. I'm giving the Bills Max Williams, I think it's Brent Urban? I could be wrong on that one, and RG3 for their first-rounder. Did Rashard Matthews get cut? I didn't even hear about that. I'm going to sign him, though, because I need another wide receiver. I didn't even hear about him getting cut if he actually did, and it's pretty interesting. This is what the team looks like for the first season. It's hard to tell if this team is really upgraded. I mean, I think Robbie Anderson has more potential than Michael Crabtree, 84 overall, 25 years old. He can definitely, progress very, very well. I feel like he'll be almost a 90 by the end of this one. The offensive line got better because now we have Quentin Nelson, but I didn't really trade for too many players in this one. I kind of just, stockpiled draft picks. I was trying to make some huge trades go through. Like, I was trying to get an insane number one wide receiver, but I just could not get anyone, that I was willing to, go for with the value I had. Same thing on defense. I was trying to go for, like, some crazy safety or some crazy outside linebacker. Couldn't get them to go through. But this is the offense. I think it's pretty decent. And then the defense is pretty much the same. I could still go in and trade Jimmy Smith, and I could probably trade, like, Tim Williams and Tyus Bowser. But I kind of want to keep those guys on the team. Also, I could trade Matthew Judon. I was really considering it, but I don't know if I really want to. I mean, we have some, replacements. I could put Tyus Bowser at left out instead of Judon, but I'm going to keep Judon there. I still might look to draft an outside linebacker. This D-line is good. I could always use, like, another defensive end or something, or another defensive tackle as a backup. This cornerback core isn't bad. I mean, Jimmy Smith will regress soon, but I can probably trade him next season, and then I need a free safety, really. But other than that, the defense is nice. I think this team can actually do kind of well. We are 3-5 here at the mid-season mark. The Steelers are 4-3. They lead the division. The Browns are 4-4, and the Bengals are also 3-5. A couple guys on the offense here have one experience point. I mean, Lamar Jackson, Alex Collins both do. That's nice to see. And then on the defensive side, we have two from Michael Pierce. That's a pretty cool. One from CJ Mosley, Deshaun Elliott, Willie Henry, Marlon Humphrey. One for Tavon Young as well. Michael Pierce has to come back to the team. That's definitely, what is going to happen. I want him back. Robbie Anderson I want back as well. CJ Mosley I will take. Terrell Suggs is a free agent. I wish he would just retire because I'm going to feel bad letting him go, but I think I want to let him go. Alex Collins I do want back, though. So Robbie Anderson, let's start off with him. Let's try to get him back on the team. He's coming back. That's nice to see. Michael Pierce, he has star development. That's nice. Definitely want him back. He's a great defensive tackle. His face scan isn't in the game, though. Looks nothing like him. CJ Mosley, I feel like you have a face scan. Is that right? You do have a face scan. Look at that. They even have the pink hair in the back. That's pretty cool. Terrell Suggs, I'm going to hold off on for now. And then Alex Collins, I do want him back, though. Alex Collins have a face scan? Yeah, no, he definitely does not. Okay, so those are the guys I want. We did not end up making the playoffs this year, but that is okay. We went 6-10. The Bengals were 4-12. The Browns led the division, going 11-5, and the Steelers were 10-6. So let's check out the team schedule. We went 3-1 in the preseason. Lost the opening game against the Bills. We did beat the Bengals. Went on a 4-game losing streak. beat the Saints and the Panthers, lost to the Steelers, beat the Bengals and the Raiders, lost 2, beat the Buccaneers, and then lost 2 more. So obviously not a good season, but I still hope Lamar Jackson played well. That's pretty much all I wanted for this year. 4,354 yards, 25 touchdowns, 14 picks. Not a bad season, a lot of yards, not too many touchdowns, and quite a bit of interceptions, but still not terrible. Rushing, Alex Collins really isn't doing that well. 926 yards, 5 touchdowns. Maybe I can try to change the scheme next season. I ran spread because Lamar Jackson is a scrambling quarterback. So spread, the quarterback for spread is a scrambling quarterback, so he'd get more experience that way. So maybe I can mold him into a different quarterback, like a strong arm or something. Rashard Matthews had a really good season. 101 catches, 982 yards, 6 touchdowns. Willie Snead, 6 touchdowns. Robbie Anderson was definitely not worth the trade. I really thought he was going to play well. Mark Andrews actually played well, though. That's nice to see. Blocking, that was this. Actually really, really good. No one played too badly in the pass protection. Maybe the run blocking wasn't too good. 122 tackles from C.J. Mosley. Tackles for loss, 13 from Brendan Williams, 11 from C.J. Mosley, Terrell Suggs, and Willie Henry. And then sack numbers, not too many at all. Terrell Suggs got 6.5. 2 picks from Tavon Young and Maurice Canady. Canady? I think it's Canady, that's how I would say it. Tony Jefferson, Marlon Humphrey, Jimmy Smith, and Deshaun Elliott all got 1. Any touchdowns or anything? I do see a safety, though. No touchdowns. Who got the safety? It was Terrell Suggs. Of course it was. 13th in the NFL in offense. That's not bad. We just need a better running game, really. And then 12th in the NFL in defense. Okay, so we seem to have played pretty well. Tom Brady wins MVP. Nobody from the Ravens. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Tom Brady. Nobody from the Ravens. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Denzel Perriman. Okay. Really? What's his name isn't in this? C.J. Mosley. I really thought C.J. Mosley would have been in it. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Sam Darnold. Lamar Jackson comes in 4th. Mark Andrews comes in 7th. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Kenny Young. Oh, he's our backup linebacker. Oh, that's nice. Deshaun Elliott is in there at number 7 as well. Not too bad. All right, well, maybe Kenny Young has some experience points. That would be kind of nice. Let's see Lamar Jackson, though. I hope he got at least a couple. He only got 2. So he didn't have a good season, but he can't be a strong arm quarterback. I mean, he does have 94 throw power or something, but I might just try to change the scheme and just see how that plays. Alex Collins only has 1. A couple other guys have 1 on the offense. What about Mark Andrews? I feel like he made the Pro Bowl. You only have 2. Experience is kind of messed up, it seems, this year. Only 2 from the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I changed the experience sliders, and just nobody has anything. Yeah, so this guy looks really good. I'm just going to say, I don't know why it's in this order, but yeah, Dixon Stovall. Starting to look like the guy I drafted in my Bears rebuild, to be honest, and that guy was an 85 overall. I want this guy quite a bit. I have $18.86 million in free agency here. Who can we bring in? Trevor Williams. Of course he's here. And he's not getting any monster contracts, so I'm going after Trevor Williams. I want to go after him a lot, though. Let's give him 115 points or so. It's 110. I'm going to go even further because he's a very good cornerback. He also fits the scheme, so he's a good fit for the team. 115 points exactly. I'm fine with that. Terrell Suggs, I did let him go. I mean, the Ravens do this all the time if you just sim, so it kind of, I guess, makes sense in the game. Yeah, I don't really want anybody else here, though. Trevor Williams accepted our contract, so now he is going to replace Jimmy Smith. I will probably just trade Jimmy Smith, but, hey, so he's not too bad. Look how many picks I have in the top 10. I have the 2nd, and then I have the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and then I think I have, the 8th as well. Let me see. I don't have the 8th, but let me see. I think I have something pretty close. Okay, so I have the 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Okay, that's it then. I have then the 6th in the 3rd round, 6th in the 4th round. That is pretty funny. But anyway, the first player I want is not going to be that wide receiver I showed earlier. He will be selected at number 4 for me. I want Shannon Boyce. Okay, so I know I just went after Trevor Williams in free agency, but this guy is an 8.1 combine grade. 4.31 speed. Remarkable. And he has good top 3 skills. So what I think I'm going to do is have Trevor Williams, still be the number 1. This guy potentially slide to be the number 2, and then I still want Marlon Humphrey to play. I'm going to trade Jimmy Smith, but then that also means I have Tavon Young still, so he might just be the number 4. I don't know if I'm going to trade him, but regardless, I'm going to be drafting Boyce. He's an 81 overall, quick development, ranked 5th in the entire draft. He has 97 speed, 83 man, 75 zone isn't great, but 82 press isn't bad. Good acceleration, great agility. This guy is definitely going to be a starter. I could probably trade this pick away and still draft this wide receiver, but I don't want to risk him going. Dixon Stovall. This guy won the Heisman. There was a draft story about him. He has A+ catching, A short route running, and B+ catching traffic. This guy looks like an animal. He's an 86. Are you joking? He's an 86 overall. Alright, so I will do this again. I'll show you when I, generated the draft class. I didn't edit this draft class. On my Bears rebuild, somebody commented saying that I did edit the draft class, like regardless of what I want to say. I could have just edited in me making the draft class. I don't know, but I didn't edit the draft class. It just have to trust me, really. I mean, the most proof I can give is me showing, me showing the first time I could scout, and then I, click generate draft class, whatever. Dixon Stovall, though. 99 medium route running. All right. 90 speed, 85 acceleration, 97 catching. Wait. Hold on. How does he have 99 medium route running? That wasn't one of his top 3 skills, was it? Wasn't it 99 catching? This guy is an animal, though. Terrible deep route running, but, what is this? I'm going to go with Jerron Cummings here because he looks really, really good. I think I want to slide this guy over to defensive end, though. I mean, he's 6'7", 21 years old, 296 pounds. He could probably play 3-4 defensive end. He ran a 4.86 40, which is not too bad. I'm sure that's faster than Willie Henry. I don't know what Willie Henry ran, to be honest, but I feel like this guy's probably faster. I think I'm going to select him and then move him over. He's a 78 overall, quick development. That was not a great pick, but still, I mean, 76 speed, definitely good enough to play 3-4 D end. 85 strength, 83 block shed and power move, 82 tackling. This guy isn't tremendous, but I think he's still going to start. I'm going to trade away my 6th overall pick. I probably could have traded away the last one, but let's try to get some stuff for next year. The Seahawks are offering a 1st rounder. The Seahawks are usually terrible. So are the Redskins. That's a 1st rounder this year, though, from the Redskins. I kind of just want to trade out of the draft, really. I mean, out of the 1st round, going into next year, I mean. A 1st rounder from the Cowboys and a 3rd next year. I'm going to take that one. So with this pick, I can either go with Travion Tongue. I mean, it's a fantastic name. Or I can reach a little bit. Not really reach. I feel like this guy's going to be very good, but I could, draft him way sooner than he's supposed to go. And Charles Sulak. I really want this guy because I need a free safety. And he looks actually pretty good. I think I still might take Travion Tongue and then trade up into the 1st round. That's what, is looking pretty nice to me. Let's go with Tongue. Pretty good looking right tackle. 81 overall star development. This guy was phenomenal. 93 strength, 83 run, 83 pass, 86 pass block finesse. 71 awareness isn't too bad for a rookie. He's looking pretty nice. I'm giving the Falcons Tyus Bowser and a 2nd round draft pick next year for the 20th overall pick, and I really hope this safety is there. He's supposed to go early 2nd round. I feel like he'll be here, though. Let's see. I'm not sure. Kent Brooks, he's a cornerback. That's not the guy I wanted. Hopefully he's still here, and he is. Charles Sulak, 21 years old, out of Wisconsin. Looking like a pretty good free safety. He's a 78 overall, quick development. He's a great free safety. He fits the scheme. 88 speed, 75 zone, 78 tackling, 90 acceleration, 76 man. Looking nice. I really wanted to select this one linebacker. He skipped the combine. He's supposed to be a 1st rounder earlier in the year. But we're going to go with DJ Gooch out of Vanderbilt. Not terrible looking. Let's see what you're all about, my friend. 73 overall, normal development. That's not a good player. I might have to trade for another middle. Even though we did have the Defensive Rookie of the Year last season, I still might have to do that because that dude did not go up very well. Adrian Cook, looking like a pretty decent player there for the Buccaneers. But with this pick, I am probably just going to, just select the rest of the players on my draft board. So let's go with Kewan Gray. Looking like a pretty decent receiver in the late rounds. 7.4 combine grade with, some good top 3 skills. Let's go with him. 77 overall, normal development. He's supposed to go in the 1st round. Okay, he's not a bad looking player. What is this slot overall? 74. I might keep Willie Snead then in the slot because he seems to play pretty well. The only other player I have is Haynes Ruff. He's A- hit power, and that's pretty much the only good thing about him. Yeah, he looks horrible. I'm not going to select him yet. I will wait. Where are you supposed to go in the 6th round? Late 7th rounder. It says he's a 6th round talent. I'm going to trade away both of these 5th round draft picks and then pick him up in the 6th round. That guy's not going to be very good, I don't think. Is there even a point of trading this? Yeah, I'll get a 4th next year, I think. Let me make sure. I'll rather have a 4th from the Cowboys, I guess. And then I will trade away my next 5th round draft pick. Hopefully for like the same thing. I'll take another 4th rounder. Let's see. There's a couple 6th. There's a 4th there from the Saints. There's a 4th from the Chiefs. I'll go with the Saints. I feel like they're worse. In real life, they're definitely worse, but in sim, I guess you don't really ever know. Depends on how Mahomes is playing for the Chiefs, I guess. But here, let's go with that outside linebacker. He's not going to be very good, but let's still see what he's all about. He has a terrible combine, but I'm still going to select him. He's a 69 overall. The only good thing about him is his hit power. He has 69 speed. The defensive tackle we drafted is faster. That is embarrassing. I'm giving the Broncos Jimmy Smith, Brandon Williams, and a 3rd round draft pick for Bradley Chubb. I wasn't planning on getting rid of Brandon Williams, but he regressed a lot. I moved him to defensive tackle, so he's an 88 overall, but at defensive end, he was like an 85 overall. He dropped 4 overall points. So that's what he dropped after 1 season. After this next year, he will probably be like an 80 overall at defensive end. This is going to be the team heading into this 2nd season. I think this team is a lot better than last year's team, especially because we have Dixon Stovall. This is one of the best players I have ever seen, like, as a rookie. He's 21 years old and he's an 86 overall. I mean, this is nuts. Absolutely insane. I've drafted a guy like this before. If you guys remember, my Bears rebuild, I mentioned it already, but that guy actually had 299 overall stats, I think, if I'm not mistaken. This guy's not very far off, though. 97 catching, 99 medium route running. Robbie Anderson is now the number 2. Willie Snead, I think, is going to stay in the slot. I mean, I don't know, because this Gray dude isn't bad. And he also fits the scheme. Now, I'm going to put Keywan Gray as the number 3, and then I'm going to make sure he's playing in the slot. He's a 74 overall slot wide receiver, but I think that's okay. I think everything else here looks good. No, actually, I want you playing the nickel. Yeah, because you're the rookie that I drafted. I want you playing as much as possible. Okay, so yeah, this is the rest of the offense. The offensive line is a little different. Since we drafted Tung, I had Orlando Brown just as a backup. It doesn't really make too much sense to slide him into center, like in real life, but in simulation, it's not going to be an issue. I'm just going to have him play there. Mark Andrews, right? That's your first name? Yeah, he played well last season. I hope he can play well again. And then on the defense, his defense is looking good. I mean, we did lose Brandon Williams, but Cummings isn't too bad looking. Willie Henry isn't terrible. Michael Pierce is still very good. Cornerback core is very nice. Trevor Williams, Marlon Humphrey. Tavon Young is not going to be playing more than, Boyce. Boyce looks phenomenal. Sulak is a good-looking free safety. We had a good draft all around. Gooch is going to be starting. That's pretty exciting. I like this team. I think they can do better than last season for sure. We are 5-2 here at the mid-season mark. Looking nice. The 49ers are 3-4. The Browns, though, are 7-1. The Steelers are 6-2. And the Bengals are 2-5. So we definitely do not have like a clear shot at the playoffs. I feel like in most other divisions we'd be at the top, but whatever. On the offense, we have 1 experience point from a lot of different players. And then on the defensive side, we have 1 from a bunch of different players too. 2 from Marlon Humphrey, and then 1 from Boyce down there. So Marshall Yanda could come back to the team. I think I'll bring him back. He's a very good offensive lineman. I've went after him in free agency a couple times, in this upcoming free agency period. He's usually there. I've done that before. Matthew Judon, I think I'll hold off on until the end of the season. If he has a really good year, I'll bring him back. Ronnie Stanley, I will bring back. Tavon Young, I'm going to let go. Willie Henry, I think I'm going to let go. I will bring back Patrick Ricard. I'll let go of Willie Snead. Alright, so I'm pretty much letting go of everybody who isn't, like, absolutely imperative to this team. I will bring back Marshall Yanda, though. Okay. Wants more money. That's fine. Fair enough. Ronnie Stanley, pretty good left tackle for us right now. Fits the scheme, looking nice. He's coming back to the team. Tavon Young is a good player, but he's the 4th corner for this team, so I guess I'll let him go and start somewhere else. Willie Henry, I mean, he's starting, but last season he didn't play too well. I guess if, like, he comes out of nowhere and just plays remarkably well, then, I'll bring him back. But Patrick Ricard, I do want back. He's a good fullback. Why not, right? He's coming back to the team. Willie Snead, don't really need anymore. He's the 4th receiver on this team. He did play well for us, though, for that 1 season. So, yeah, all I really have to worry about now is bringing back Marshall Yanda. Marshall Yanda wants to play for a new team next year. I will franchise tag him, then. That's pretty much all that means. We did not make the playoffs. We went 9-7. It's improvement, but not good enough. The Steelers were 12-4, and the Browns were 11-5. The Bengals went 3-13. Alright, well, let's check out the team schedule. Lost every game in the preseason. Lost the opening game, won 3. Lost to the Steelers, won 2 in a row. Lost to the 49ers, and then, just pretty much up and down for the rest of the season. Then I saw a bunch of, games where we scored over 30 points, though, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Check out the stats. Lamar Jackson, nearly 4,700 yards, 36 touchdowns, 18 picks. That's a much better season than, last year. Alex Collins, very, very nice season. 1,248 yards, 10 touchdowns. Maybe just scheme. The scheme means a lot. Maybe spread is not a good running back scheme. I don't know. 4 fumbles is quite a bit, I guess. I mean, 1 every 4 games. Whatever. 1,200 yards, nice. Kenneth Dixon, 3 touchdowns. Receiving. Dixon Stovall, 10 touchdowns, 1,217 yards, 96 catches. That is a really, really good season. Robbie Anderson, 4 touchdowns. Kewan Gray gets over 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns. Mark Andrews gets 7. Alex Collins gets 2. Blocking, how is this? Not bad at all. I mean, Ronnie Stanley letting up 11. Pretty normal from left tackles. 10 from Quentin Nelson. I guess it's a bit much for guards, but still it's not bad. 0 for Orlando Brown. Pretty nice. On the defense, 139 tackles from CJ Mosley. 8.5 sacks, 2, and a pick. That is a tremendous season. Tackles for loss, we have 11 from Willie Henry, 9 from Kenny Young, and from Michael Pierce. Did Kenny Young play over Gooch? I don't know, I see Gooch down there. He had 51 tackles. Who knows? Sack numbers, we have 8.5 from CJ Mosley, and then just none. 2 of our linebackers led our team in sacks. What happened? How did we not get any pass rush? Interceptions, 3 from Marlon Humphrey, 2 from Shannon Boyce and Trevor Williams, 1 from CJ Mosley, Tavon Young, and Tim Williams. All right. Any touchdowns? I'll check that in a second. I do see a safety, though. 1 from Michael Pierce. There it is. And then we did not have any touchdowns. So we were second in the NFL in offense. Okay, so a very good offense. Our defense must have been horrible then. 27th. Yeah, we were pretty bad. MVP I already saw. Went to Le'Veon Bell. Lamar Jackson's in there at number 5, though. Hopefully he gets some experience points. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Le'Veon Bell. I mean, well, okay, of course he's going to get at least 2 probably, but hopefully he gets 5. That would be really nice. Nobody else from the Ravens. Defensive Player of the Year, CJ Mosley comes in second, but at least he's getting some recognition. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Dixon Stovall. Oh, man, he's going to be great. Kewan Gray comes in second. Both of our wide receivers, are number 1 and number 2. Nobody else from the Ravens. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to David Delgado. I feel like I wanted to draft that guy. I don't remember what position he plays, though. Where's our team? We have Shannon Boyce and Charles Sulak in there at number 9 and number 10. Nobody else, I don't think, from the Ravens. But let's check out the experience points for the offense. Stovall has to have a ton. He has 6. He is going to go up to a 93 overall with confidence. Oh, man. And he has star development. Oh, my lord. Gray only got 1. That's a ripoff. 3 from Lamar Jackson is nice. 1 from a couple other guys. 2 from the right tackle. 2 from Orlando Brown. On the defensive side, we have 3 from Marlon Humphrey. 2 from Sulak, I see. What about Boyce? You got 3? Okay, so the cornerback core is definitely coming along. My bad. I forgot to check out who was in the Pro Bowl last year. I hope you guys don't mind too much, but I will check it out this year. We'll hone in on the AFC. Phillip Rivers, Deshaun Watson, and Baker Mayfield. I said that out of order. But they are the quarterbacks. Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, and Leonard Fournette are the running backs. Really nice group of running backs there. But, I mean, if you look at the NFC side, they might even be better. Overall-wise, they definitely are better. That's insane. Burris is the fullback. Kyle Juszczyk, look at him for the NFC. Victorian, 2 rookies are the fullbacks. Nice. Dixon Stovall is the first wide receiver. Emmanuel Sanders, Travis Benjamin, Eli Rogers, Jarvis Landry, and Keelan Cole. There are some really strange receivers in here usually. Especially for the AFC. I mean, the NFC looks kind of normal, right? Doug Baldwin, Julio Jones, Golden Tate, Devontae Adams. Taylor Gabriel is kind of random, but Michael Thomas, those all kind of make sense. But Eli Rogers is in the Pro Bowl, or Travis Benjamin, someone who's not really that great at receiving. He's a good kicker and punt returner, but I mean, interesting. I mean, Keelan Cole is great too, but I mean, kind of interesting there too. David Njoku, Hunter Henry are the tight ends, and Austin Seferian-Jenkins. For some reason, I only thought there were 2. Taylor Lewan and Trent Brown are the left tackles. Andrew Norwell, Joel Bitonio are the left guards. Brandon Linder, Rodney Hudson are the centers. David DeCastro, Kevin Zeitler are the right guards. Marcus Gilbert and Jawan James are the right tackles. J.J. Watt and Stephon Tuitt are the defensive ends, the left ends. Myles Garrett and Chris Jones are the right ends. Insanely good D-line there for us. But look at the left ends from the NFC too. Cameron Jordan and DeMarcus Lawrence. Malik Jackson, Larry Ogunjobi, and Carvalho. I don't know who that is. He's an 85 overall, though. Those are all the defensive tackles. Von Miller and TJ Watt, so the Watt brothers make it. CJ Mosley makes it, and Rashaan Evans is the other middle linebacker. Dayon Buchanan and Shaquille Barrett are the right outside linebackers. Jalen Ramsey, Joe Hayden makes it. That's pretty cool. Bobby McCain and AJ Bouye, both of the Jaguars corners made it. Marcus May and Justin Simmons are the free safeties. But look at this. Decoud made it. Or Decoud. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. He made it. He's a 73 overall. Alrighty then. Tyrann Mathieu, Andre Howell, both on the same team, unless Andre Howell got traded. That would be cool if they were both on the same team and made it at the same position. Giorgio Tavecchio is a kicker. Marquette King is the punter. Philip Lindsay is a kick returner. And then Scott, I don't even know who this guy is, but I think he made it in the Pro Bowl pretty much every season. You know, when I did my Steelers rebuild, he makes it as a punt returner. It is now time where I can franchise tag Marshall Yanda. Where is he? Can I not franchise tag Marshall Yanda? Did he retire? Hold on, he may have retired. If he retired, that's kind of rough. He retired because he's not on the team. Okay, so now I need a new right guard. Not like an insanely difficult position to replace. Maybe there will be one in free agency. Watch, he just, shows up in free agency here. $63 million to spend. We have a ton of money. We can bring in a lot of studs. Derrick Henry is the top guy, though. Jake Elliott, definitely not going after him. I usually would, but not in this case. So I still need a guard. I'm not seeing any good guards. I guess I should sort by them. Okay, well, he used to be on the Ravens. Okay, yeah, he's not good. Alright, yeah. There's no good offensive lineman. Jeez. The best offensive lineman is Anthony Costanzo. Wow. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to go after anyone. There's no one here that really piques my interest. I could go after a defensive end. Willie Henry is the top guy. I still do need a defensive end. But I was thinking about just trading for someone. I don't think I'm going to go after anyone here. The first player I will be selecting in this draft is going to be Morgan Johnson Jr. Not a bad looking defensive end, 6.9 combine grade. He's pretty big, 6'6", 308 pounds. Not too fast, but he's very strong and has good top 3 skills. Let's go with him. He's a 77 overall, but he has star development. That makes me want to start him for this season. 92 strength, 80 acceleration, 83 acceleration. 83 tackling, 82 block shed. Not good power moves, but not terrible, and then pretty bad finesse moves. I have the pick directly after that one as well. So there's a decent looking offensive lineman I could go with, or I could just go with this safety. Will Killian? Ooh. Yeah, I'm going with Will Killian. Screw that offensive lineman. 80 overall quick development. Okay, so kind of looks like Ben Roethlisberger. I don't know, that face, that was the first person that reminded me of. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to start this guy. He looks pretty decent. 87 speed, 80 zone, 89 acceleration. It depends on whoever's a higher overall, I think. Between him and, what was his name? Like Sulak, the guy we drafted last year? The only player I have on my watch board is Adrian Reese, and I didn't even scout him. He has a 6.4 combine grade, which was like a great indicator last year, but it doesn't like automatically indicate a great player this year. This guy still looks really good, though. I'm just going to go with him. 79 overall. Alright, this guy is very good. 90 strength, pretty decent looking blocking stats, 85 impact block. I think this guy's going to start because I feel like he could progress pretty well. He's supposed to go in the first round. I'm just going to sim to the end of the draft, though, because I don't really have anybody else I want to take. So Jaleel Scott is on the Ravens, apparently. That's who that Scott guy is. Let's see what your stats are all about, my friend. I don't even know who you are. I'm being completely honest. Wow, 87 speed. 79 ball carrier vision. Apparently he's a pretty good returner, though, because he seems to make it as the punt returner like all the time. He's a 45 overall kick returner. I get that's different from a punt returner, but still. With this trade, I'm giving the Packers Hayden Hurst, Bruce, and a first rounder for Kenny Clark. I'm just kind of exhausting all of my draft picks here, but I'm giving the Titans a second round draft pick, Gooch, and a third rounder for Harold Landry. This is the team heading into the third season, so it says that they are an 84 overall. And as that is true, I still think there's a ton of potential with this team. I think they can do really, really well. Lamar Jackson played well last year. He keeps getting better, so hopefully he can, progress even more. Alex Collins had a good season. Stovall had a great season. This offensive line didn't play badly. Andrews is still playing decently well. Who else played well here? Keon Gray. Your name's Keon, right? Or Kewan Gray, whatever. He played well. I think he can have another good season. And then on the defense, Michael Pierce is now playing left end. I pretty much just checked between him and Kenny Clark, whoever was the fastest. That's who I was going to throw at defensive end. I think he can make that transition pretty easily. Kenny Clark then is playing defensive tackle, and Johnson, Morgan Johnson Jr., the guy we just drafted, is playing right end. He's going to start here. He has star development. I think he can make it work. This cornerback core is tremendous right now. Sulak is going to stay at free safety. I was going to move Killian over there, but Killian does not fit this scheme at free safety. If I'm not mistaken, it's hybrid. It is hybrid, so I'm going to keep Sulak. His linebacker core is still decent. We don't have a great backup middle linebacker, but Young played well when, you know, he was starting. And then hopefully this year I can draft a middle linebacker or something, because I am pretty much planning on going another season. Make sure the specialist is all good. Yeah, I want Gray playing in the slot. I like what everything else looks like, I think, here. Rush right end, rush left end. CJ Mosley's over there. Boyce is the slot corner. Special teams looking good. I'm excited with this team. I think they can play well. We are 5-2 here again at the mid-season mark, but the Jaguars are 6-0-1. We are in first in the division this time. The Browns are 4-4. The Bengals are 2-6, and then the Steelers are 1-6. So we have 1 experience point from a couple guys on the offense here. Not too many of them, though. And then on the defense, we have 1 from a couple guys here as well. Boyce has 1, so no one has more than that. Even Killian has 1. Look at that. Marlon Humphrey has to come back to the team. I'm sure a bunch of people do here. But it is going to be Marlon Humphrey, Tony Jefferson, Sam Cook, and then that is it, actually. There's only 3 players. Not bad. And we have $71 million to get this done. So, I mean, we can ball out in free agency this upcoming year. We don't have too many players to bring back, so we should have some money. I will bring back Tony Jefferson just for the remainder of the rebuild, really. A 5-year deal with him. Pretty interesting. And then Sam Cook, he's a good punter. Even though he's 38 years old, give him a multi-year contract. Why not? He's coming back to the team. That's what I like to see. We made the playoffs this year. We had the same record as last year. We went 9-7 again. The Chargers went 12-4. We won the division. The Steelers were 7-9. The Browns 5-11, and the Bengals 4-12. This division was all pretty terrible, so that's like the only reason why we made the playoffs here. 1-3 in the preseason. Won the opening 5 games, and then lost 4 in a row. Beat the Cowboys, lost to the Bengals, won 2 more, lost to the Steelers, beat the Browns, lost to the Giants. We started off so strong. I wish we could have kept that up all season and, you know, went like 15-1 or something. But let's check out the stats. How did Lamar Jackson perform? 4,600 yards pretty much, 27 touchdowns, 13 picks. Another pretty decent season. I like the yardage. I wish he threw more touchdowns and less interceptions, but, I mean, it's still pretty good to me. Alex Collins, not nearly as good as last year. Almost 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, but I wish, you know, he'd be doing a little bit better. Rashawn Farley, 3 touchdowns. Robbie Anderson gets over 1,000 yards this time. Stovall gets 1,100 with 8 touchdowns. He was probably our best receiver again. Robbie Anderson got over 100 catches too. Mark Andrews, 6 touchdowns. Kewan Gray got 4. Weird looking distribution here, because last year it didn't look anything like this, and I didn't change the scheme at all. Sack numbers, not bad at all by the offensive line. They've been playing very, very well this whole time. 117 tackles from CJ Mosley. 13 tackles for loss for Kenny Clark, 9 from Michael Pierce, and from Bradley Chubb. We finally have a player to get 10 sacks, and it's Kenny Clark. 5 from Bradley Chubb then, but just no pressure aside from what Kenny Clark was generating. 4 interceptions from Tony Jefferson, 3 from Marlon Humphrey, 2 from CJ Mosley, and Trevor Williams. Sadly, Boyce or whatever his name is, he didn't get one. We have another safety, though. And it's from Sharif Landry. Okay, he's a rookie. And we also have another one from Michael Pierce. Any touchdowns? We did not have any touchdowns. We were 10th in the NFL on offense. Our offense has consistently been one of the best. And then we were 7th on defense. And we only went 9-7. How does that make sense? Ezekiel Elliott wins MVP. Blake Bortles, though, is in 2nd. Nobody from the Ravens. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Blake Bortles. We have Lamar Jackson in there at number 7. Not bad. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Telvin Smith. CJ Mosley makes it in there at number 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Rashawn Farley comes in 3rd. That's pretty cool. I guess he's our backup running back. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, we have Will Killian coming in 5th. That means our backup safety. Interesting. Let's check out the experience points, though. Sir Stovall has some. He has 4. He's going to be a 96 overall. Does he have, superstar development yet? He has star. Does he have 99 catching? 98 catching. Oh, man. 96 short route running, too. You can have 399 stats after this. 3 for Tongue, looking pretty nice. 3 for Lamar Jackson. On the defense, we have 2 from Harold Landry. That was the first person I saw for some reason. 3 from Sulak. I don't know how Tony Jefferson only got 1, but he did. Boyce got 2. 3 from Johnson. Not terrible. Here is a quick rundown of the team. They are now an 87 overall. This offense is led by Stovall. He's a 95 overall. And he nearly has 4 stats at 99. He has 99 catching and medium route running. Then he has 97 short route running. And then 98 catching traffic. This guy is absolutely insane. Everyone progressed pretty well. Even Alex Collins went up a little bit. Lamar Jackson's up to an 85 overall now. Quick development. I feel like he had star at the beginning of this. I'm not too sure. Still doesn't have great deep accuracy, but it's okay. He's been playing well. And then on the defensive side, Sulak went up to an 83 overall. Marlon Humphrey's an 89. Trevor Williams, 87. Boyce is up to an 86. Team's looking pretty good. The only real change I'd want to make on defense is just a different middle linebacker. But even then, Young hasn't played too badly. We do not really fit the scheme anymore on offense. Maybe I'll try to change it next season. But anyway, let's see what the overall difference between us and the Chargers is. Probably pretty big, to be honest. Okay, so we have a 3-point overall advantage on them. Honestly, I thought they were going to be a higher overall than us. But let's see what happens. I'm going to advance the week. Did we take down the Chargers? Probably not. We won. Okay, we actually won a playoff game. I feel like I haven't won a playoff game in forever. Let's see if we can beat the Chiefs. I forgot to check the overalls. That's my fault. But we lose that game anyway, 28-21. Pretty close game. I'll show you guys the schedule though, just to show you I didn't cheat or anything. I don't know why I would force a loss for me, but regardless, 27-17 against the Chargers, and then 28-21 against the Chiefs. I'm going to go through the Pro Bowl once again. I'm going to try to do this all the time. I just forgot the first season of this one. Blake Bortles, Phillip Rivers, and Jacoby Brissett are the quarterbacks. Leonard Fournette, Le'Veon Bell, and Kareem Hunt are the running backs. I think that's the same as last year. But the NFC just casually has 399 overall running backs. Arma and Wesley are the fullbacks. Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, Robbie Anderson, Chris Hogan, Josh Gordon, and Stovall make it. So 2 players from our team are in that. Hunter Henry and Townsend are the tight ends. Gronk is another tight end. I keep forgetting there's 3 of them. Trent Brown, Taylor Lewan, left tackles, Andrew Norwell, Joel Bitonio, left guards, Brandon Linder, David Andrews. I almost said David DeCastro here because I saw him down there, but those 2 guys are the centers. David DeCastro, whatever. And Shaq Mason are the right guards. Tung, I forgot his first name, and Juwan James are the right tackles. Calais Campbell and Emmanuel Ogba. He's up to an 89 overall. That's pretty cool. They're the left ends. Myles Garrett and Leonard Williams are the right ends. So both the defensive ends for the Browns made it. Hardy, I'm not sure who that is. He looks pretty good. And Kenny Clark and Nazir Jones are the defensive tackles. Haggins and Von Miller are the left outside linebackers. Preston Brown and Curtis are the middle linebackers. Dayon Buchanan and Dante Hightower are the right outside linebackers. Tremaine Johnson, Desmond King, Denzel Ward, and Kayvon Webster are the corners. Denzel Ward's up to a 98. Micah Hyde and Sean Davis are the free safeties. Eric Berry and Tony Jefferson, he makes it from our team, are the strong safeties. Justin Tucker is the kicker. Beatles, what am I talking about? Beatles is the punter. And then Marquise Lee is a kick returner, and Lasley is the punt returner. I'm in free agency here, and we have about $63 million to reel some players in. Hopefully there's a middle linebacker here. Miles Jack is typically here, but Myles Garrett is here now. Huh. That makes me want to switch. No, not switch. That makes me want to, go after him and move him to outside linebacker. I almost just want to keep him, at right end, even though that makes no sense. I feel like he could do well. I just feel like he would help the team, even though he's not a 3-4 defensive end. I kind of just want to do it. Because the game is kind of weird in that sense, and even though he doesn't fit there, he would still play well there. I'm going to go after Myles Garrett and see if we can get him. We have a lot of money, so why not give it a shot. 95 total points. We need more than that. I'm going to go over 100 on him. Christian McCaffrey would be cool, but I'm kind of liking Alex Collins, even though he didn't play too well last year. I think I want to keep him. I mean, Christian McCaffrey would be a huge upgrade. Let me think. I really like Alex Collins, though. I think I'm going to go after Christian McCaffrey. I just can't stress it enough, really. If Ravens fans are still watching, I like Alex Collins. I think he's underrated. I think he should be an 86 overall in the game, from the start, but he's just not. And just Madden Sim always screws over low overall, or lower 80 overall running backs. I don't think I'm going to go after anyone else, but I really need to draft a middle linebacker. The issue is that I don't have any... Hold on, I don't have any draft picks. I forgot I got rid of them all. I have a 4th rounder. So let me just check in free agency again. I'll let you know if I get anyone else. Myles Garrett and Christian McCaffrey accepted, so that makes our team look a lot better. I don't know if I want to keep Myles Garrett over here. I could move him up where Harold Landry is, but, Harold Landry seems to have played pretty well. He can't shift over to, middle, can he? Yeah, I'd say no. Zone coverage 63, yeah, definitely not. I knew he was a pass rusher, but I was just making sure he didn't have, good stats in another category for some random reason. I think I might just keep Myles Garrett at defensive end. I did it with the Bears and DeMarcus Lawrence. It doesn't make any sense in real life, but in Madden, it would probably work pretty well. I'm taking the 5th overall draft pick from the Colts by giving them Cummings, a first rounder next year, and a fourth rounder this year. And with this pick, I'm not there yet, but hopefully with this pick I will be drafting a middle linebacker. He shouldn't go yet. He's supposed to be a mid-first rounder. I doubt he went. Hopefully, though, I can select him. I didn't really look through this draft class too much. He's down there. I can see him. I just want to kind of look around a bit. I mean, it's this guy, but let's see. I usually let the computer scout everyone after the first season, really. I don't see anyone that looks like insanely good. I mean, this guy looks very, very good, though. Naquan Carroll, 21 years old, out of LSU, A- pursuit and tackle, and then B+ block shed with a good combine. Let's go with him. 82 overall, looking nice. What was his development? Quick, I think? Yeah. 82 speed, 90 tackling, 87 block shed and hit power. Nope. 86 hit power, close. 92 pursuit, 85 acceleration. 71 zone isn't perfect, but he's definitely going to play. This is going to be the final roster. It's strange on the offense because, like, no one fits the scheme, but it's whatever. I don't really think the percentage of the scheme fit really matters too much. It might, I don't know, I haven't done any testing on it, but I feel like I've had, you know, like 100% scheme fits on defense and they still don't play well. And I've had near 100 on offense and they played just as well as last year's team did, and it was like a 70%. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But yeah, the offense is a little bit different now, of course. We have Christian McCaffrey. I think he's the newest acquisition on the offense. I should probably sign a backup tight end. I'll do that right now. I just like having the backup at least a 70 overall. I don't think it matters too much in the end. Janoris Jenkins is a free agent. All right. Let's get Adam Shaheen on the team. Kind of rhymed a little bit. All right, well, I'll take it, I guess. He's going to be the backup tight end. And then the rest of the offense is pretty much the same, other than Christian McCaffrey, like I said. I think this team can play very well. Stovall has been insane. He's a 95 overall. This offensive line's been playing well, too. And then on the defense, I feel like I might still even get some comments being like, hey, Myles Garrett doesn't fit the scheme in a 3-4. I know he doesn't. This is like the fourth time I think I've said this. I understand he does not fit the scheme in a 3-4 as a defensive end, but I don't think that matters in Madden. I had DeMarcus Lawrence playing defensive end for the Bears, who have a 3-4 defense as well, and he put up like 15 sacks. So I don't really think it matters too much. Is he the rush defensive end? He should be. Yeah, okay, so he's going to just play as a rush left end, so he's kind of playing outside linebacker. I guess that's like more of where he's playing, but he's going to be lined up as a defensive end. I don't really know too much, but the defense looks nice. Carroll should be able to play well. I kind of want him playing sub linebacker. No, I don't. I'll keep CJ Mosley there. He's been great all rebuild. And then, yeah, I mean, there's not too much more to say. This team's looking good. I think they can make it back to the playoffs. If not, this has just been a rather unfortunate rebuild, I guess. We ended up making the playoffs here at the end of the season. We went 12-4. All right, that was a good season. 11-5 from the Browns, 10-6 from the Steelers, 4-12 from the Bengals. So last year was like the only year that this division like collectively played really badly. The past couple of years, there's at least like two good teams. 2-2 in the preseason, won the opening 5 games, then lost to the Chiefs, won a lot more then, lost to the Packers, won, and then lost 2 to the Jaguars and the Bears, and then beat the Raiders. Alright, well, this team played pretty well. We have 7,600 XP points for the coach. XP points, that's redundant. Whatever. 4,334 yards for Lamar Jackson, 31 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. He's always throwing a lot of picks, but he does have a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns, so I can't really be too angry. Christian McCaffrey, 1,233 yards, 11 touchdowns. Alex Collins, probably one of the best backups in the NFL at this point right now, you know, in this franchise. 8 touchdowns for him. 900, nope. I was going to say 960 catches for Robbie Anderson. 96 catches, 952 yards, 2 touchdowns. Stovall gets over 1,000 yards again with 5 touchdowns. Mark Andrews gets 6 touchdowns. Kewan Gray gets 6 as well with 843 yards. Good seasons from all those guys. Not a bad season from the offensive line once again. Not great from Trevion Tongue, but still not terrible. CJ Mosley has 101 tackles, 89 for Shannon Boyce. 17 tackles for loss from Michael Pierce, 15 from Myles Garrett, 11 from Kenny Clark, 10 from Will Killian. Wait, hold on. Will Killian? He's a safety. He got 10 tackles for loss as a safety. He must have blitzed a lot. Wow, okay. That's interesting. Sack numbers. This is exactly what I was talking about. I knew Myles Garrett was going to do well. 15.5 sacks for him. 7.5 from Kenny Clark. 7.5 from Bradley Chubb. Interceptions. We got 4 from CJ Mosley. That's a good season. 4.5 sacks. 7 tackles for loss for him too. 2 from Shannon Boyce. 2 from Marlon Humphrey. And then 1 from Trevor Williams. We have another safety. We've had at least one safety every year, I think. Kenny Clark got it this time. Any touchdowns? No touchdowns. Okay, so we were 3rd in the NFL on offense. I feel like we were top 10 on defense. Let's see. 1st. Yeah, alright. We were very good this year. Le'Veon Bell wins MVP. Lamar Jackson makes it in there at number 10, just barely makes it. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Le'Veon Bell. Lamar Jackson makes it at number 7. Christian McCaffrey makes it at number 10. Defensive Player of the Year, CJ Mosley comes in second. Rashaan Evans comes in first. He's a 91 overall. Myles Garrett comes in sixth on that list. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't really think I drafted anyone on the offense. I don't think the computer did either. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Naquan Carroll. He's the middle linebacker we had. He came in 7th. All right. Best quarterback goes to Baker Mayfield. Lamar Jackson comes in 4th. Best running back goes to Le'Veon Bell, of course. Christian McCaffrey comes in 4th. Austin Eckler. All right, pretty cool to see him on that list. Best wide receiver goes to Tyron Payne. All right. Is our guy in there? There he is, Dixon Stovall, 8th on that list. Jordan Matthews makes it too. Best offensive lineman goes to David DeCastro, but we have Quentin Nelson, Trevion Tongue, Ronnie Stanley, and Adrian Reese. Adrian Reese. Oh, he's the one guard we drafted. Okay, so they all made it. All 4 of those guys. And the only one we're missing, ooh, I developed a lisp, is Orlando Brown. Best defensive lineman goes to Myles Garrett. Nobody else on the Ravens. Best linebacker goes to Rashaan Evans. CJ Mosley's in there, number 5. Best defensive back goes to Bobby McCain. Tre'Davious White and Micah Hyde both made it. Tre'Davious is up to a 99 overall. Best kicker, Caleb Sturgis. He wins it, but Justin Tucker is in there at number 7. All right, well, let's check out the experience points quickly, and then I'll, spend them very quickly and then get into the games. We have 3 from Lamar Jackson, 1 from a bunch of other players, 4 from Tongue, not bad, and then on the defense, 1 from a bunch of guys, 2 from a couple. I'll spend these. That's not what I meant to click on. I will spend these and then simulate to see how far we can make it in the playoffs. The team is now a 93 overall with a 99 defense. Looking really nice. There's a quick, look at the team. Just showing you guys what it looks like. Boyce, I'm going to make sure he's a number 2 corner. There we go. Let's see who we have to play in the first round of the playoffs here for us in the divisional round. We have to play a divisional rival in the Browns. What are the overall differences? We are in 93. They are in 86. We have a 7-point advantage over them. Can we win? These games are so up in the air, but I feel like they have such a big advantage just because I'm using the other team. We won. Okay, so we took down the Browns. Can we take down the Texans? I'm going to go right to the Pro Bowl. Did we win? We did win. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break before we take on the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I'm going to look at the Pro Bowl roster. Lamar Jackson is the first quarterback, even though Baker Mayfield was the best quarterback. Whatever. Deshaun Watson's in there. Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette. That has been unchanged this whole time. Wellman and Sherman are the fullbacks. Payne, Landry, Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Corey Davis, Kelvin Benjamin are all the wide receivers. David Njoku, Hunter Henry, and Townsend are the tight ends. Ronnie Stanley made it. That's pretty cool. Trent Brown is the left tackle. Is the second left tackle. Joe Bitonio, Andrew Norwell, Brandon Linder, Rodney Hudson. Those guys are usually the same. I think it's been a toss-up between Rodney Hudson and David Andrews at the other center position. It's usually Brandon Linder at the number 1. David DeCastro, Kevin Zeitler are the 2 right guards. Trevion Tongue, I think is his name. And Jawan James. Jawan James has always been the backup right tackle. J.J. Watt and Emmanuel Ogbar are the left ends. Myles Garrett and Leonard Williams are the right ends. Larry Ogunjobi, Malik Jackson, and Pierce are the defensive tackles. T.J. Watt and Von Miller are the left outside linebackers. Rashaan Evans and Bentley are the middle linebackers. Vontez Burfict and Justin Houston are the right outside linebackers. Bobby McCain, Tre'Davious White, Wiggins, who's a 74 overall, Minkah Fitzpatrick, those guys are all the corners. Malik Hooker and Micah Hyde are the free safeties. Jamal Adams and Jabril Peppers are the strong safeties. Caleb Sturgis and Brent Kern are the kicker and the punter. And then Barker and Lasley are the kick returners and the punt returner. I meant to say kick returner and the punt returner, not plural. But anyway, let's go into the Super Bowl against the Cowboys. Can we come away with a victory? I really hope we can. I haven't won a Super Bowl in forever. But I don't really, say that winning a Super Bowl is the definitive success in rebuilds. Really, it doesn't really matter too much to me. I just like making the playoffs. But we are in 93. They are in 90. Let's see if we can win. This game is pretty close right now. It's 17-14. Can we get any points? There we go. We got a touchdown. 21-24. Now the Cowboys answered back. 24-24. The game is tied. Who's going to win? It went into overtime. Who's going to get the first points? It's going to be the Cowboys. They won 27-24. Very, very close Super Bowl here. I guess this isn't like the ideal way to end a rebuild. Of course, I would have wanted to win the Super Bowl, but it's not that big of a deal. The team was still very interesting. They played well for a couple of years. I mean, I can't get over that wide receiver. That guy was absolutely nuts. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope I didn't disappoint you Ravens fans too much, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.